The only thing I know is that I was told that the mayor was placing it on hold, and that was because we requested the infrastructure study. That's the only thing I know.
So you spoke about an infrastructure impact study. That is,
A few weeks ago.
yeah, so you have directed the engineer to perform that? Or typically you have to take action to do that, but.
Right, so we were, at the next meeting, Stan will be here.
Okay.
And then we'll proceed. But I wanted to make sure the council was okay with tabling the riverfront redevelopment one more time. We were trying to work with Mayor Ellis. I haven't heard from him in a week. I haven't even gotten an email from him. So, quite honestly, I believe that he has told Stan Schreck, our town engineer, that from now on he can talk to me. So Stan has been communicating with me, and we will have it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, so the next sewer meeting though isn't until November, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, well, Connie mentioned about the parking too close to intersections. I've been emailing, I started out emailing Chief Stetner, then he directed me to Chief Amy. I've been copying Councilman McVeigh. There are several intersections that I have emailed that other residents have brought to my attention as being dangerous. The one that I'm complaining about on a regular basis is coming out of Schultz Avenue onto Summit Avenue. I've been taking pictures every day that I encounter cars parked right on the corner.
Can you send them
No, I haven't sent them to
to me?
you.
No, I said, can you?
Oh, you sure?
Thank you.
Sure. Can the corners be painted? Can a sign go up, no parking to, from this point forward, something?
That is definitely something that we can ask the town engineer. I know that he deals with signage, and Shelley, they've been very responsive all week in my communications with them. I do believe that we can get something done.
Because for like a 2-week period after, from what I understand, cars were being ticketed, they stayed off of the corner. Today, they're right back on that corner. It's the same cars.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, I wait and like I said, I take a picture, then I email showing the car. Today, I pulled over and I called it in.
Okay.
So, the other thing is at one of the budget meetings, I had asked CFO Marlowe about what percentage of the mayor's,
No, that wasn't us.
okay. The mayor's salary is coming out of the sewer budget, and he stated 46% of his salary is coming out of the sewer budget. I'd like to know if the mayor's getting paid 46% of his salary, since the general budget is depleted.
No concern, it's all liquidated,
It's all gone.
It's not, right?
Okay, so the money's already been transferred out of the sewer to the general to cover that 46%. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Is there any other comments?
Emil Bresson, 94 Bowman Street. First of all, I would like to just support the things that Pastor Slack said. I thought he made a lot of really good points. I also wanted to ask about the infrastructure study. You just talked about that a little bit, but I wanted to, the redevelopment plan has been almost considered a number of times, and you talked about addressing it after the infrastructure study is done. Just want to encourage the council to get that started so that we can move along with the redevelopment plan.
Mr. Brisson, not to cut you off, but there is a recurrent redevelopment plan. You are aware of that, right?
Yeah.
And you've read them both side by side?
No.
They are verbatim.
I know you've talked about it.
Right, they are. And if you'd like, I can email you those.
You can do that if you want.
Sure.
That's
Okay.
fine. I do think that if we've got a redevelopment plan that has, that is being pushed at this point by the planning committee, that it ought to be addressed, and I know there are some council members who said they want to see it go forward, so just like to
It's the
not
same-
see it
it's the same
held up
plan.
because of the infrastructure study.
But it's the same plan.
I had a question for Council Vice President. You mentioned a new business downtown, but I didn't hear whether you said what it was. It's opening on Monday. Can you say that?
Please.
Lee Services on Sunday. It's called Lee Services.
And where is it?
It's South Main Street. It is on the 400 block.
Okay, and what kind of
It'll
business
be
is it?
it's for people that age out of assisted care
Oh.
for younger. So it's intended for mid-20s to older, so they have
Okay.
somewhere to go, developmental disabilities.
Okay, good, thank you. I want to just make a comment about the stop signs that were discussed. I recently have gone down in Pohat on, I think it's Victory Boulevard, and I saw that recently they put in stop signs like every street. I don't know why they did that, but it might be interesting for somebody to talk to them to find out what prompted them to do that. And you know, it doesn't seem like they have a whole lot of traffic there, but they put up stop signs every street. I also just wanted to comment on a comment earlier about asking questions about the mayor on Facebook. And that's, I wouldn't think that if you have a question for the mayor, that asking on Facebook would be the best way to do it. So I wouldn't use Facebook for that particular kind of thing. So,
Well, he seems to think it's the best way to communicate with the residents.
okay. Well, I'm just throwing out my opinion.
I appreciate your opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Wayne Kelly, 237 Bog Avenue.
Yes, sir.
I know you talked about moving that kiosk machine to Market Street. You were losing revenue because it's not there. Why isn't it there?
The kiosk to Market Street.
The one on New Jersey Transit Law, why isn't it back at
You want to take this one?
Market Street?
The mayor may move it.
So we're losing money.
I know you are. I was gonna bring it up.
I'll listen to you then.
Thank you.
Invoice 244 Irwin. I agree with Reverend Slack, what he said. I think it's kind of hard to do and it was brought up about Facebook, and I'm guilty of it as well, but I stopped reading the Sunday paper because there's more humorous things going on with everything here in town than reading the funny papers. Nothing but constant denials and lies, blatant lies. I posted a picture Saturday of a full Riverside Way lot that nobody paid. I watched, I don't know how many people walk right past, not pay a dime, nobody there to enforce it, and everybody going over to Garlic Fest. That was how much revenue? It's $10 for a special permit, or special event permit, am I right? Okay, $10 is how many? 100 people, so $1,000 were lost. You want to make money in this town, then make money in this town. You just threw it away. Stop the lies, and don't say you want to make money if you're not going to make money. You have the opportunity. It's a legal lot, it's a legal paid kiosk, then enforce it. Very simple. I mean, all you had to do is have an officer there.
Right. I don't mean to cut you off, but we can't,
You meaning whomever.
council, so council can't call up the police chief and say you need to enforce this, right? So we're not the administrative, and we would be stepping over our boundaries by calling the administrative head and saying you need to make the police chief or the police department.
Mr. Briskin said, don't bring up on Facebook trying to contact the mayor or questions for the mayor. The mayor's come to me personally and said he wanted to talk to me. I've called, I don't know how many times, and I've seen actual vampires more than I've heard from him. You know, nothing at all, completely. I have to address too, Joe Miner came up and he brought up the episode. He He gave you all the information you needed, but I've watched the video because I've read so many responses about it, and I've watched the video at least 15 times. Council President reprimanded the mayor. Someone in the audience said something. Council President reprimanded the member in the audience. The mayor responded to that. That's when you asked him to leave. Okay, he was not antagonized. I have to say that. Mr. Minor, you got up, you said something. Before Council President even asked you anything, you said you were leaving, so he didn't throw you out. You voluntarily left on your own.
I was just saying you have to address me.
All right, I'm sorry.
Can we bring it to council business?
Isn't that council business? It has to deal with council. It has to deal with the problems of why this town can't go forward.
You can answer, Councilman.
I have the utmost respect for all of you, including the mayor. I do think the mayor tries. I think the mayor might be guided by some misinformed people. Maybe. I just don't know. I do think his intent behind a lot of things is good. I'll just leave it at that. If I'm addressing something wrong, then tell me I'm wrong.
The point is, you don't want to call out residents by name, so Mr. Minor said Dustin.
All right, I'm only doing that because it was discussed, and it was,
Right.
if I'm wrong, then I apologize.
No, if you wanted to discuss anything with Mr. Minor, I would just ask that you do it after the meeting.
I have no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I agree. If you people do, then I'm sure there is animosity on both sides, because it's just human nature. Something has to give. The lying has to stop. The blatant, I mean, it's blatant. It's not just even little white lies. It's just full out, like, I'm telling you, I'm the President of the United States. And I'm getting stuff too. You know, every time I get up here, I get messages from people, and I've been threatened and I've been encouraged and everything. I have people digging up in my past. I don't know what the heck people want to know about me. Come and ask me, I'll tell you
I'm
anything.
threatened for members of this body.
I'm not going to mention names, whoever mentioned me, but I mean, I've got people that they bring up certain issues. Well, they brought up the sewer issue. They didn't even know the facts of the whole matter. Okay, you want to discuss it, discuss it. I mean, this person then, of course, then had tripped herself up in a lie. I believe she was set up. I believe she was fed the information simply because of what information was used. That's all right. You want to dig into my past? Fine. It's all public record. I don't care. Just remember, turnabout's fair play. I'll dig up on anybody I want to, too. I mean, I'm not up here to make enemies. I'm not up here to make friends. I'm just, it's...
So you've reached your 5 minutes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. That's time.
My name is Sandy Egas. I'm a resident of Delaware Heights. I'm not gifted with wordage, but my feelings right now and for the last several half hour, whatever, I appreciate what Reverend Slack said. We all need to take, this is my opinion, of course, we all need to take into consideration our points and compare it, not just compare, but I'll use that word, compare with the others, because I was so disturbed when I heard about what had taken place, because I certainly wasn't attending that meeting. And I wanted to talk to you, Council President, but I didn't know exactly what to say, and I don't know what to say, except I appreciate what he said. And also, Emil Grissom with his words also. So there are some people that oppose the mayor, but I do not. Because I like your last words, saying that, you know, he is out with good intentions. I firmly believe that. And not once have I had trouble, that I can recall anyways, have had trouble contacting him. Talking to Sherry Corcoran. I mean, she always communicates a message to him, and I always get a response. Now that, maybe I'm lucky with 100%, because you probably won't get a response from me. I'm not that dedicated for 100%. None of us are. There's not 100% of anything for all. But I'm done talking now, but I wanted to commend Reverend Slack, and we all should take that into consideration because it's our town. It's our town. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, David Morissette, 5 Fairview Heights, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. And kind of looking at a different angle tonight with this podium. It's a new perspective. In reference to what a previous citizen was talking about relative to the riverfront development plan, I agree with you. I agree with the council president that the plans are very, very similar, and it has been made clear. I don't speak for the planning board now. I'm speaking as a citizen. It's been made clear at the planning board meetings that the planning board was standing on the shoulders of previous administrations with the riverfront development plan. The plans started, I think, Council Vice President, 2003 was like the first written one, and then they kind of proceeded on and developed.
Yeah, it's statutorily required to be rewritten every 10 years, I believe, so it's been around a long time.
Right. But I would say there are some significant differences between the last one and the current one because of the charrette and the stuff that the town engineer and the town planner has done in terms of designing the potential ideas for what would happen down at the riverfront, or Riverside Way area. And one of the things that I encourage is that the plan be passed so we can put out RFPs. And I understand the infrastructure issue. Council would like to do that, not a bad idea. But I do think there are some significant differences between the plan, and we'd like to get to the point where we can actually put out RFPs, requests for proposals. Is that?
We can do that now.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting the town do an RFP?
The town puts out requests for proposals. Is that not the way it works? And then,
Not, well,
and then
to sell off the
then the
land.
developers come in with those requests for proposals with designs.
we would have to sell the land first.
No, I don't think you have to sell the land, actually. Because, for example, the town can still own the land, and the developer can build on the land. But I'm speculating, because I know where I work, we actually have buildings, we have housing that people come in and build. Companies come in and build, and it's remains Lehigh land. But companies come in and build, and they get the revenue from what it is they're building and generating revenue from. So
I can
yeah,
tell you there's some serious downsides to that. For example, the hospital owns land in Hillcrest. The house is owned by a person. We lose all that tax revenue because it's owned by the hospital. So somebody that wants to buy that house doesn't take the deed to the land, and the town loses all that tax revenue. There's some major we lose the tax revenue if we don't sell that land, but develop the building.
right, and that's good discussion. I mean,
That's a
those
big,
are the
yeah, so I would never suggest the town go out for RFP as the property owner. That I would take legal advice on that, but as a business person, heck no. I want to own that land. I
Right.
want to own that land. And as a council person sitting here and a taxpayer, I want that property owner to be paying taxes on that land. That's a personal opinion, but go ahead.
yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm just hoping we see some progress and we get some more investment and money in. And I think there will be multiple points of redevelopment starting in the town. I think as Councilman McVeigh said, there are various places to plant the seeds, but I hope we get them planted. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there anyone else?
Clark, 341 Hatton Street. I'll keep this quick because I'm freezing and I'm tired. I'm hungry. And I know everyone else is too. I mean, we've heard it tonight. We need to start acting more civil. Democrat, Republican, we need to be on the same page about this because we need to move our town forward. The reason I'm up here is because I got an interesting text from a friend before, and I'll even show y'all, like, it's a real thing. He had texted me one of these, all these articles that are showing up on the internet about Phillipsburg. And what he said really upset me. He literally said, and I take this, dude, what is wrong with Phillipsburg? The thing that upsets me about this the most is because he lives in Mercer County. So I wanted to make it aware to everyone that the conversations we're having in this council room, the things that are going around town are making it all the way down to Mercer County. Quite frankly, I think that's just an embarrassment, and I think the political games need to stop. The attacks need to stop. We have a real opportunity here to push, the redevelopment plan forward. We have an opportunity here to come together and just push the town forward. Progress. I mean, there's no politics here. There's no bias. I mean, I think we can all come together and just say this is our town. And just seeing these articles pop up and up and up and up, it only hurts us. And it's the same people saying the same things. And I'm just tired of seeing this miscommunication or this misinformation or things being taken out of context. We should be able to work together on this. And it just upsets me because this is now spewed out of Phillipsburg. It's spewed out of Warren County and made it all the way down to Mercer County.
Cape May.
Yeah, really? Cape May too?
Yeah.
That makes...
Washington, D.C.
No. But doesn't that just prove the point? I think we can all agree that this is just terrible. We need to get our stuff together. Almost lost it there.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think it's time for us to come together now. Democrat, Republican, the articles we're seeing coming out about all this dirty stuff that, quite honestly, who knows if it's true or not, it's terrible. And I think we should be focusing on bettering our town, pushing this redevelopment plan forward. And I actually want to give council kudos today for passing the open space.
The open space referendum.
Yeah, sorry, it's been a long night. The open space referendum. Like, it's been on the books for months. Took a while, but you got done tonight, so I'll give y'all that good praise right there. But I think it's about time that we start moving forward. And we need to all work together. Stop calling each other names and leave what's on Facebook, and not here in the council room. We're all adults here. I think we can agree on that. Stick to the facts. I don't know if I'm about to run over my time, but that's all I just wanted to say. And thank you from the public audience as well for their commentary too. It doesn't bother me, it's fine.
I didn't hear what they said, so I apologize. But
It's fine. At least I know they're
I would
listening.
ask that everyone refrains from their comments. I was actually
Yeah.
deeply ingrained into what you were saying.
But thank you, Council President.
You're very welcome.
Y'all have a good night, get some sleep, it's been a long night.
Stay warm. Is there anyone else?
I have one really stupid question. I probably should have asked this at the beginning. Nicole Timmerman, 112 North Riverview Road. It actually is in reference to the list of bills. There is check 73997, All-American Sports Corporation, for just under $3,600. Is that for the reconditioning of the football?
Probably.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. I was
Judging
just
by
looking
the
for
amount.
clarification.
Judging by the amount.
It's a little bit less than last year. Well, a lot less than
Because
last
they all
year.
got repainted last year one color, they didn't have to get done again.
Okay.
That's why it was less.
All right, thank you. That's it.
Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, we do have a habitability hearing. Yep, I know. So public petitions is now closed. We'll move forward to the habitability hearing, and it's to my understanding that it's Mr.
Joe Capoza.
Joe Capoza. Mr. Capoza, if you would step forward, please. You're welcome. Yes. Mr. Capoza, Mr. Duddy's not in attendance tonight, but we would like to speak with you. You have been patient and have waited this long. You are the owner of the Stockton Street. It's the...
Let me swear.
Please
Mr.
do.
Capoza. I just wanna make
It's
sure-
so what is
Sir,
MNT Stockton
Raise
Street?
your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, state your name and address for the record.
Giuseppe Capozza, Giuseppe Capozza, Capozza.
Okay. And your property, you were noticed, you are MTR Stockton LLC is the record owner of Block 132, Lot 1. Notification was sent out, complaint was filed with the county clerk. Copy sent to all interested lien holders of period of record regarding the allegations that the property located at Block 132, Lot 1 poses a danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the inhabitants of the town of Phillipsburg, which is why you were called here tonight, as the council president noted. The construction code official for the town, Kevin Duddy, is not here, but nonetheless, if the council would like to entertain testimony from you regarding the property and presumably what you intend to do with the property going forward, and you are in fact the principal of MTR Stockton LLC.
I don't want to represent them.
You're authorized to speak on their behalf?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Capozza, the date of the fire, do you remember the date of the fire?
Was, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was probably about 8 months ago.
I believe it was in February of 2018. Actually, I'm sorry, January of 2018.
January, yes.
Yes.
January.
The reason I know that is because the three of us had something to do in Trenton the very next day after the fire. We were told at that point in time that the building was going to be removed, condemned. And the mayor had told us that.
Well, the mayor said that, not us.
Right. So you haven't spoken to the mayor then?
No, I don't spoke to the mayor. I went to see the mayor. I told him we'll clean the building, we're knocking the debris, but we cannot move the structure or foundation.
The reason for that?
The reason with that is we touch that foundation, we have to sit back 45 feet from the road. We're rebuilding the building on the same location with the one floor warehousing. That's what we're doing.
So, when the last time we spoke to Kevin Duddy was that we were going to ask you to bring it all the way down to the cement slab, and then you wouldn't have to move it back.
No, definitely not. Kevin says, don't bring it down. I have to have 25 to 30% of the building up, so I have to move it back.
Well, we could waive that.
The building, we're not coming down, we remain the same what it is, but we restructure the building the way it is. We put in new walls the same way they are. We use the same foundation. We put in walls up and everything that we want.
And your estimated time of completion?
We're finishing plans right now. It will be about a month or so to finish up.
So if I gave you 60 days, we'd see something?
60 days, probably got a permit to start cleaning everything up and start rebuilding. In 60 days, we have more than enough time to finish the plans.
In the meantime, would you be able to get a fence up?
There's a fence in already, it's clean. Some little debris here there, but it's all clean.
I can walk right into the property.
Yeah, it's just fence and laying it down because we're clean, but we just close everything else on the bottom area.
So if I were
to left the one area, we need to put a gate there. That's why it's not there.
So
And the problem is also we have children that are going from the back area. We need a escape to get out of the area. There's no other way, so we block it in, then they can't get out.
Councilman Lewis, did you have something for Mr. Crowley?
No.
We're looking to see the deed on
The
here.
date.
It was done about 2 weeks ago.
So it was done after you were served for the habitability hearing?
Yes.
Is that what motivated you to get this done so quickly?
No, he was working, the guy was working on the architect is locally from Easton, and we never get to it. You know, finally I told him I need something to present to you guys, that what we need to be done.
So,
You know, I'm well-known in town, that you guys know very well, okay? I rebuilt the laundromat on 2240 Memorial Parkway, the Henry building, that is ours. 224 Stockton Street, I don't know if you guys remember the way, look at the way it is. 147 Main Street, 127 Main Street. You know, 411 Main Street, this is all our buildings. We're rebuilding from day one. We spend a lot of money in this town. It's not like we're just doing it today. You know,
No, I don't have a problem with that. I'm
we're
just saying,
street.
since January, this building's been.
Yeah, well, we have other things to do also, you know, I mean, you know.
And therein is going to lie the problem.
You know.
So, see, I normally have other things to do too. And one of them is to make sure that this is off my list before the end of this year.
We will clean it up, we're secure, we'll start, put some together, but be done by end of this year, probably not. Financials are the issues, we have to get financing. Who's putting the money in Phillipsburg? I don't see no bank lending in Phillipsburg.
I'm sorry?
There's no banks lending in Phillipsburg. They don't want me at Phillipsburg, no banks, no financing. Means we have to get finance through other ways to get the building, get it done. It's not accepted for a grant. The building was burned down, there's no insurance on the building, it was just liability on. It was not like we were packing the money.
No, I didn't say you were. And you're the victim. I get that. You're the victim of a fire.
No, it's not that there's a victim, but that we will put it back together. It's like we put everything else together in this town. And you know what I mean, it's not like we started.
That's why we're here.
6 months, look at the area, look at the area the way it looks. Look at down Union Square. Why don't guys bring Union Square up? Why you bringing Stockton Street? We're in a commercial industrial area. I know I'm concerned the residential around us. I pay a lot of tax for that property. Okay?
So.
Now, you bring the Union Square up and then we can talk about it.
Okay. So
Okay, that's what it comes to. Union Square is like a job.
Here's what we're gonna do, okay? So, since you wanna take this route, I would implore council to allow them a 60 days to get the job done, or we move for demolition.
Why don't we notice it for the 18th?
It's fine.
December?
We will not be done, rebuilt in 6
It's okay, it's okay.
You know, it will be full.
We've waited since January, sir. We've waited since January. Oh, it's not getting well, just so you understand, okay?
The point is, I did more for this town than anybody else in this town did it.
So,
Okay? Now, you pushed me to build something, and what I do with it after I built it?
All right, so we're gonna renotice this for the 18th of December. I'll send out,
Okay.
I'll send out a notice. Send out a notice to you for the 18th of December. During that time, you can make contact with Kevin Duddy in the town.
Yes, they
for
came
the permits.
inspected, the building,
Right.
and they told me to take the parapet above
Right.
parapet. And we did that.
Right, so
So
what,
we did clean it up, whatever we had to do. We cleaned up all the debris we need to be cleaned up. We demolished the building, whatever we need to demolish, all the debris is all gone. Okay, now, you know, through the time, it takes time to get a plan ready, to find a tenant to put in there, the financing.
Sure,
There's
so-
no insurance money here.
I heard all
We're
that.
talking about our pocket.
I understand that. So what the council is gonna be looking for, though, 2 months from now, is something more than what you presented